In the live event industry, there's one very large competitor and a couple other smaller competitors that basically have a commoditized product for all live events. And so it's very transactional, and it's the same no matter if you're going to a concert or amphitheater or the Super Bowl. And so what we realized is that the fan deserves so much more. And so what we wanted to do is to create a branded experience for those teams and for those artists so that the fan could get more value and have a better experience going to the event as opposed to just a transaction where they're just buying a ticket and going to the event. Jump is a end-to-end fan experience platform. And what we do is we try to help professional sports teams and venues enable great experiences for their fans, and in doing so help teams and venues generate incremental revenue. Historically, the fan experience has just been this idea of buying a ticket and then nothing happens and then you end up at the show or at the game. And so we believe that there's a huge opportunity to engage a fan, to do things, to connect with other fans, to prepare, to engage in all sorts of other activities that the team might or the artist might want the fans to experience before the event, and then at the event have a more engaging experience, and then after the event have something to take with them, memories, some sort of memento. The main problem today with the fan experience is it's treated like a transaction. And we at Jump believe that the fan experience should be much more of a relationship between the fan and the team, or the fan and the artist and the venue. And so Jump's solution is about building enterprise software, truly end-to-end enterprise software that helps our clients, which would be the professional sports teams and the venues, connect with their fans and build relationships with their fans as opposed to it being a pure transaction. The biggest challenge that we hear from people who operate arenas, stadiums, venues, and run professional sports teams is the lack of flexibility of the systems that they use every day. The incumbent systems were built decades ago, and so they're missing a lot of the flexible components that exist in normal enterprise software today. And so in doing so, whether it's buying tickets, whether it's the digital experience end to end, whether it's F&B, whether it's buying merchandise, whether it's credits and loyalty and cash for fans, all of these different mechanisms, transferring your tickets, transferring parking passes, entitlements, various things that need to be enabled and set up on the back end by an event operator or a professional sports team, those things are really constrained in the current system. You would know if you looked at the category, there's obviously one or two very big players that are the incumbents in the industry. And so Jump by definition is coming in as an underdog. And one of the things that people love about sports and also about upcoming artists and bands and performers is when somebody sort of unknown and somebody who kind of has the odds stacked against them is an underdog, but people are rooting for them because they really want to see that person or that athlete or that artist succeed. And so we kind of have to have a chip on our shoulder as a startup anyway. And in this category, it's especially challenging with the incumbents. And so we love this idea of playing like the underdog because you have to do things different. If you play the way that everybody else plays, you will not win and you will not succeed. At Jump, our approach to fostering innovation is about bringing the best minds and the best people that we can to the table and unleashing them to come up with their own ideas and engage users and clients as well and see what's possible. In this industry, there's no shortage of obvious ideas for innovation. The problem is that there's just been too many roadblocks and too many barriers standing in the way of great ideas from coming to reality. And so we could have hundreds and hundreds of the best ideas. The problem has not been coming up with these ideas or bringing these new thoughts to bear. The problem has actually been executing on them and bringing them to life inside of these large live events. I remember a conversation that I was having with my mentor, Mark Laurie, about some of the things he was working on. And one of those things was potentially buying a professional sports team with his friend and business partner, Alex Rodriguez. And so the three of us got together and we were trying to unpack all the different things that might happen or they might be interested in if they were to do that. And so we were looking at the fan experience, and Mark being an entrepreneur on the consumer side and me coming at it from an enterprise side and Alex from the sports and entertainment side, we had these three different points of view and perspective on what this could be. And it became very clear as we were unpacking all of that there was nothing that sat at the middle. There was no system that brought all the elements of the fan experience together before the event, during the event, after the event, into one seamless end-to-end fan experience. And so it was at that moment that the three of us decided that, hey, there's a business here, there's something here, and that's how we created Jump. When we started the company, one of the most important things that we did was being very intentional and deliberate about setting our mission, vision, and values. And whenever you're building anything big or anything ambitious, you have to start thinking about the long term and thinking about scale. And so in order to do that and to set the course successfully, especially in an industry as challenging and as big as the one we are going after, we spent hours and hours and hours, over 100 hours, focusing on every single word that make up our mission, vision, and values and core values for Jump. And so the mission for Jump is to elevate the live event experience. And the vision for Jump is to create an operating system for live events that brings more fans in, gets them closer to the action, and creates more personalized, memorable experiences. And the core values for Jump, which we spent tireless hours poring over, trying to make sure that it was exactly right to set the tone for the culture for Jump, are first, begin with trust, second, play like the underdog, and third, do your thing. So fans historically have had trust issues with the platforms on which they buy their tickets because they don't necessarily know if they're seeing all of the inventory, or they don't know if they're seeing pricing that's moving around, or why are the fees the way that they are. And so we believe that there's a really big issue around trust in this industry, and it's something that Jump takes very seriously and wants to solve for the industry. We ensure that the people that we do hire come in with high levels of trust already there in the organization, because our recruiting process ensures that these are high quality people that should be in the company. And then they're here to do their thing. And we want to clear the path and allow them to do their thing. Success for Jump is going to come down to setting a new standard for the way that fans interact with the teams and the venues that they go to. Success for Jump is going to mean that Jump sets the course for a new way that fans interact with their teams. And we believe that there's huge demand and huge need for something big, bold, new, and different. And so Jump's mission and Jump's vision is to change the game, is to bring innovation to a space that has not seen innovation in a very long time. Within 5 to 10 years, everything will change in live events and live sports because of Jump. The Jump platform is going to be used by professional sports teams across leagues, across sports, across geographies, and it's going to deliver on the promise of Jump, which is to bring more fans in, get them closer to the action, and to create more personalized experiences. Today, the experience of going to a live event is incredibly commoditized and constrained, and within 5 to 10 years, venues and teams around the world will finally be able to deliver on all the promises of innovation with the Jump platform.